Alright, what's up guys? I've been skating disorder boards for the past couple months, and I just really wanted to give my thoughts on them since there's not a lot of videos really talking about the brand or the boards in general. I think there's like one or two YouTubers. I know the local Joe is a great skateboarding channel. He did a video on it talking about the boards, but I've skated more than one board for the past couple months, so I feel like I have a very in-depth thought process on the boards. I feel like I've spent enough time to really talk about the boards, right? So I normally skate a size 8.25 board because I have a size 11 foot, right? So I tend to like a wider board, but I dropped back down to the 8.125 so I could skate Nyjah's exact mold, and I skated it for a couple boards. Then I went to a zero board at 8.25 because I wanted a wider board, and then that board broke, so I went back to disorder, but I got an 8.25 because I wanted to try disorder skateboards again because I was getting tired of having to skate the smaller board, but I wanted to try the brand with a wider board, so I know the wider board isn't Nyjah's exact shape. So I set this one up yesterday, right? It's the spun graphic from Disorder. It's an 8.25. I skated it for the first time yesterday. I was gonna make a video on it, and then I got to the skate park and realized my GoPro wasn't charged. So this will be my second session with the wider board, and at the end of the video I'll give my thoughts on the differences between the 8 and 8.125, which is Nyjah's exact mold, and the 8.25, which has the same concave and stuff but is a longer board. I'll give my thoughts on the differences and just my overall thoughts of the company Disorder in general. But for right now, let's get this session. Alright, what's up guys? We're going to talk about disorder skateboards, right? I typically ride at 8.25, but when Nyjah came out with disorder skateboards, I bought a couple of them at the 8.125 because I wanted to skate Nyjah's exact shape, right? So I got the 125, I got some venture lows, because the website says you ride it with thunder lows. That's the closest you get to like Nyjah's setup. I mean, Thunder doesn't make lows anymore, so I did some venture lows, but after a while I was kind of not comfortable with the entire setup, right? I wanted a wider board, I I wanted some medium trucks. I wanted different trucks because I've realized some differences between Ventures and other brands, right? So I got the Zero board that I skated. It was an 8.25, and I really liked it. And I was thinking about moving to Zero, but I didn't want to completely give up on Disorder until I had skated a board in a size that I was comfortable with, right? So that's when I got the Spun Graphic 8.25, and I got some Thunder, Jamie Foy Thunders 149s to put on it, right? Because the Thunders are a little bit higher than the Venture Lows, and the Kingpin sits more towards the front of the truck and it's steeper, so I wanted more leverage on my crooked grinds and stuff, because I've been trying to learn a trick. I thought it would help, right? And so in general, skating the 8.25 versus Nyjah's exact mold, I noticed a couple things right off the bat, right? Like this one right here is Nyjah's mold. We line up the trucks as close as I can, right? You'll notice the Nyjah's mold has a very short nose compared to the wider board, and it's like flattened at the top, and that's not because of razor tail or anything. That's just like the shape of the board. He has a shorter and flattened off nose. I don't know why. The 8.25 overall is like almost an inch longer, and some of that's in the most of that's in the nose, and some of it's in the tail. The tail is almost the exact same. It's just a little bit wider because, you know, it's a wider board. Overall, Disorder skateboards have a very mellow concave, right? There is some curve there. It's not like a completely flat board, but the transition from the nose and tail to the concave is very mellow and not like steep at all. So I like that. I like mellow boards. The only thing is they hurt my heel flips, but whatever, it's just heel flips. These boards also tend to have a more shallow nose and tail because Nyjah wants a quicker pop on his boards, right? So if you like mellow boards with a quick and responsive pop that doesn't get soggy, then I would definitely recommend these boards. Overall, I've really liked them. The only thing I will say is that out of the past couple I have skated, I've gotten 2 defective boards, right? I think the YouTuber I mentioned earlier, the local Joe, check him out. He's got a really cool channel. He had some lamination issues as well, right? I've had 2 boards do this exact same thing to me, where the layers had started to split, and it's not anything I had done, right? Like, I know if you like hit a ledge really hard and dents the board, it'll split the plies. It could, right? But that's not what happened here. It just over natural use, like the plies just started to split, and it's really annoying because I had to stop skating because it ruins the structural integrity of the board, right? It makes it easier to snap, and that's kind of sucking. But every board company they're gonna have defective boards, right? That's something you just can't avoid. I've had girl boards snap on me first day, element boards, like just bad. So I don't want that to deter you from trying the company if you do. However, I would recommend that if you're thinking about trying Disorder skateboards and you typically skate a wider board, but you're worried about missing out on trying Nyjah's exact mold, I would not say it's worth it. I would just stick with the standard size you normally skate, whether like if it's an 8.25 or 8.5, right? The main downside of this company, I would say, is, other than the overpriced t-shirts and hoodies, is the shipping, right? So shipping is really expensive, and the boards aren't cheap either. The boards themselves are about $70, which isn't unheard of in today's industry. A lot of higher quality custom shaped boards are kind of tending to like be average around that price, right? Like a Shad's twin tail is kind of 70-ish bucks. Jamie Foy's twin tail is kind of around that price range as well. So it's not unheard of, but the fact that there's no option for cheaper shipping, meaning that every $70 board purchase is a mandatory $15 shipping with like no grip tape included, is kind of ridiculous. I mean, someone for me is like, I live overseas, so I end up having to pay a lot for shipping anyways to get things in a timely manner. But say for instance, someone who lives in the States, there should be an option for just like a standard $0 or $5, like 7 to 12 business days shipping, right? The fact that you already have to buy a $70 board with a mandatory $20 shipping is kind of ridiculous. That's what I have to say about that. Overall, Disorder Skateboards, I really like the shape and responsiveness of these boards. I think I'm gonna keep skating them, to be honest, unless you guys want me to check out some other brands. Growing up, I skated a lot of Element and Girl. The Zero board was my first Zero board, and I actually really liked it, and I'm thinking about getting another one eventually. But I really like these boards. They suit my style. So Disorder Skateboards, overall, if you can get over the shipping issue, I would highly recommend it. At least just give it a try, right? See for yourself if you don't want to take my word for it. If you notice in the clips, right, I've been skating through multiple pairs of Nike SB's Nyjah Free 2, right? As you can tell, I'm a big Nyjah fan. I really like this shoe. Typically, I prefer big, bulkier cup sole shoes. I don't like the way the flick feels on a vulcanized shoe, but I feel like this shoe is kind of in the middle of both styles, that it feels really good to me. Like the cup sole, it still has a cup sole feel with enough board feel to make it feel really good. If you want me to, I can do a full review on these as well, because I've skated through a bunch of pairs of these, and I really like this shoe. That's all I gotta say for now. So leave a like or a comment. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you have any ideas or thoughts on the video, or what you want me to make a video on next. I'm out.